Hello guys and welcome back to another episode. So, I hope you're sitting in a nice comfort position, and this episode is going to be, well, if we put a bit on the fire, let's put a little lump on it and voila, this is what we're going to talk about. World of Warcraft patch 9.0. So we are going to talk about what is going to happen in next expansion. So first of all, I have to release a big spoiler on what is happening in, well, actually on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, patch 8.2 is going to open up the raids on normal and heroic, and we are able to go in and beat Queen Ashera. And then probably a lot of you are thinking, well, okay, what's about that? Well, I mean, she's just a boss, we just defeat her like we do always. No, we are defeating Queen Ashera, but she's actually releasing the Sod from his prison. That means he's going to take over the world and beat us all. We're dead. I mean, this is probably maybe the last normal expansion. He basically escapes, and he's so powerful that, well, there's kind of no hope. I mean, it's just that we're basically dead in some way. I guess Blizzard will find a way to do it. So I was thinking crazy. How are we going to sustain, or how are we going to survive this? I mean, the Sod is probably, the baddest of baddest. I mean, he's going to take over the world in 2 seconds. So what is going to happen in the next expansion 9.0? I mean, I have no clue what next expansion is going to be about. So I had to Google, I had to see a lot of leaks. Is that expansion going to be all about Nasod? And then I found some clues that actually make sense. When I begin to read them, they actually sound like something that could be true. So let's go through those clues I actually found on the deep web. No, it's not the deep web, like illegal deep web, but just internet. So clue number 1. This is the first thing that will happen in the next expansion. We are getting a level squish from level 120 to 40. Then we're going to crest to level 50. And then the next patch, just the next patch, we're going to level 60. This is so that 9.0 does not have to be delayed for too long. Equal, we are getting a half expansion and then the last of the expansion, but I mean, something is something. So, and everyone heard about the next level squish is going to be, well, next level squish, that's the first level squish, but we have heard that Blizzard have confirmed a level squish is coming. And for me, going back to level 40, 50, 60, perfect. I mean, perfect, that's fine for me. So, but this is kind of making, I mean, we need some more answers on this, but of course it will come. So the next league I found is about this one here, and that actually makes sense if you think about ability to chat with opposite faction via new neutral languages. If we choose to enable it, off by default. So that means you will now be able to chat and communicate from alliance to horde and from horde to alliance. And that actually makes sense, because if Nasod is going to take over the world, we cannot have those internal fight with alliance and horde. We need to fight together and defeat Nasod. So we have to be able to speak to each other. So that's why we're getting a neutral language, so we can actually speak together. And I mean, that is changing a lot of things, because I hope it will. I mean, you can already chat to your friends when they are online on a horde character when you're playing alliance because of Battle.net. But I hope you can actually also in the next expansion level group up with horde if you're playing alliance, because factions should not matter in next expansion, because next expansion should be about saving Azeroth and not just a horde alliance. Think about it like Destiny did. Destiny 1, everyone is losing in the end. Well, when Destiny 2 releases, everyone is losing. Cabal is taking over the world, and now they're releasing a Destiny 2 where everyone has to fight and survive. I think Blizzard is kind of doing the same. They're, taking the keys and turning around and saying, let's do this again, but in a new way. somehow. Clue number 3. Europa-style union after the battle for Azeroth ends, with both sides as losers. As I said, the side is going and everyone is losing. Players can turn on or off the ability to group with each other. Horde Alliance players who choose to side with Sylvanas Tyrande cannot group with each other. Those who do not can do so. This can always be undone, redone. This does not apply to PvP. Okay, so PvP is still the same, so battlegrounds, so on, but you can enable, so you can actually group up with the opposite faction, but it's a choice. You can either go and say, I'm really hardcore Sylvanas fan, so I will only be Horde, and you can also be really hard Tyrande fan and say I will only be Alliance, or you can say, screw that, I like both. That sounds weird. I'm into both things. So yeah, let me group with the other side faction. I mean, that's pretty cool, because then you still keep some kind of law, and you know, everything is like Shazam. Everything is good. What is that? Okay. So let's see here. Clue number 4. Complete revamp of classic trio, Vanila, the Burning Crusade, and Wrath zones. Wrath coming out in patch 9.1. Okay, so they are actually going to, well, again, this is rumors and leaks, so could be true, could not be true. So they are basically going to redo the whole Vanilla, the whole Burning Crusade, the whole Wrath of Lich King, probably with new graphics, new quests, everything. That's pretty cool. And before we talk about this, let's talk about next one. All zones now scale from 1 to 40. New players can choose to level in any of the previous expansion areas. For example, 8 alls. Each following a different storyline quest every time feels like a fresh game from level 1 to 40. A new zone from 40 to 60, the most replayable content WoW has ever had. Mobs now hit as hard as they do in Vanilla and take as long to kill. Okay, so that basically means all the expansions in the, well, all the trio expansions are going to be level 1 to 40, and then you can pretty much do whatever you want when you level. Okay, I see the point. That's quite kind of cool. Let's see the next spoil. Previous in-game questing zones such as Suramar can now be done while leveling alls and still barely lead up to level 50. Okay, interesting. Wrath trees are coming back with a few tweaks. Current talent system removed. Raid drop legendaries with crazy abilities coming back, giving players a reason to want to raid, since similar loot can be unobtainable from all kind of sources. This would differentiate raids from any other source of loot, legendaries being super powerful. Okay, so they're making raiding more unique again by adding legendaries only to raids, but Wrath of Lich King talent tree. Did I forget something? Wrath of Lich King talent tree. Okay, so that means okay, so in Wrath of Lich King okay, so in Wrath of Lich King we had the same talent trees as we had in Classic. Sorry, I've been playing every expansion, but I couldn't remember that. Okay, that makes sense now. So we're getting back to old talent trees. I'm not really sure if I'm a fan of that, but okay, that sounds some kind far. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of yeah, okay, no matter what. Let's continue. Original glyph system is back. This time the player has to buy books that drop in older raids, all of which scale to level 60, giving players a reason to play all raids, not only new ones. Raid scaling is off by default, setting them at level 40. Xmog mount run still possible. Glyphs only drop from scaled raids. Okay. Okay. Flying is now auto-enabled once 9.1 content is completed. No more gating. Okay, so that means you're pretty much getting every flight zone in the game when you complete 9.1. That's fine. Friendly AI NPCs can be used to do all raids. Looking for raid is only enabled for current content raids without AI. AI-based raids means the player can only be a healer tank in this scenario. If the player dies, GG DPS players get a generic tank or healer ability bar. So you can do old raids and have a full group with you as AIs. So you can basically do a raid with bots. Wow, that's cool. I'm a fan of that. Non-rated battlegrounds can now be done against AI if the player is also using an AI-based team. However, they give half as much honor and are challenging to win. Basically, one real player on each side plus 9 AI. I think basic one real player on each side. So that means it will be one player versus one player, or will it be one player versus only a bot team where you also have but basically you're playing, okay, so that's like playing Heroes of the Storm but only with bots. So you can play in Heroes of the Storm, you can play with bots, together with bots, against bots. So they're basically giving you bots fight in Battleground in World of Warcraft. I mean, that's actually fine with me, because sometimes you're like, I just want to go into Battleground and do some chilling, test some spells, and I mean, that's pretty cool. I'm a fan of that. Give us more, you know, things to do, like things like that. Solo queue for rated battlegrounds finally in. Can this really be? Can this really be? Players are treated just like in non-rated. However, they only get matched with players of similar rating. Unrated PP is once again used for honor-based gear, while rated is only used for titles, cosmetic, gear, and mounts. Wow. So now you can do rated battlegrounds, like, so you can basically, like Heroes of Storm, League of Legends, all those games, you can do ranked, just alone queuing up, and then you get a group with the same rating as you. Wow. I mean, if this is true, I will be farming this rated battleground all the time. Wow. This is fantastic. I mean, I really hope this is something that will come. I really hope. Ability to unlock new allied races via cash shop. I'm actually a fan of that, because I'm not a person who wants to farm for hours and hours and hours just to get a race. I mean, I have a credit card, I have a job, I have no problems paying a lot of money for getting what I want in the game. If I need gold in the game, I just buy a game token. Sorry, I'm just buying a game token. If I need something from auction house, I don't have the gold, I buy a game token. Because that's my situation. That's the problem. I don't have time to play World of Warcraft as much as other people. Other people can play 7 hours every day and earn the gold to buy stuff. I probably have 2 hours every day, maybe maximum, to play, because I have a job, I have a child, I have a wife, I have a house, I have a dog. So I only have like 1 to 2 hours every day playing. So if I can just spend money to get what I want in the game, fine with me. If I just can spend money to get the new races, fine with me. If the person who plays 7 to 20 hours every day can just get them by grinding, fine with me, because he has the time. I don't have the time. I will not be able to get flying in this expansion because I don't really have the time to. If I just farm reputation every day, I would not have time to play with my friends in the evenings. So basically what I mean is, I'm fine with allied races in the cash shop, because I don't have time for farming it. So if I can just buy it for money, let me do it. I mean, and I'm also supporting Blizzard in that way, so they get money. So that's totally fine with me. Class rotations back to having more buttons and abilities since the redesigns is based on ref classes, with class identity being brought back. Possible class changes include spell skins tied to race and a new hero class. Okay, so that's what Ion he said in his interview. I think it was a developer brief. The video he uploaded on YouTube, he basically said that all the classes is getting a lot of spells back, so they really feel like classes again, and not just a spec. But the thing they're saying include a new hero class. What could that be? If I have one thing I could say, what is the next class going to be about? It's probably going to be a dragon class. So like a red dragon for tank, green dragon for healing, and blue dragon for damage. Because I think dragons is going to have a big impact on the next expansion. A lot of you can see on the internet, there's a lot of rumors about the dragons is going to have something to do soon. So I think dragons is going probably to be the next class, maybe. I'm not sure, but I think. Okay, next expansion. World of Warcraft patch 10 will feature a new faction with completely new races and lore without splitting the player base. In other words, a new faction only lore-wise can PvE with and PvP against both at war Horde Alliance, Pro Sylvanas, Tyrande, or at peace Horde Alliance. So this will be like in Guild Wars 3, sorry, in Guild Wars 2. I mean, I know in Guild Wars 2 you don't have factions, but in Guild Wars 2 you can basically do PvP where you have where you're free factions. So yeah, red, green, blue, and you fight each other. So this will actually be a bit like that. And I'm pretty sure I know another MMO game where they actually have 3 factions. But this will actually be adding a new faction, so there will be 3 factions. Wow. And then you probably say, what about the queue times? What about battleground? And what about dungeons? The queue time for that will be like big because of so many different factions. But no, because you can just join the Europa Union FN style, where you're basically saying, I don't want to be in the PvP. I just want to be at peace with everyone, so we can just talk to each other and do dungeons together. So, and then you don't have any big queue times because everyone in the game will have the same queue time and no faction queue time. Unless you're like, I only want to stay with Sylvanas. So, like that. But I mean, this is next expansion. That's probably, we're talking 4 years or something like that. Maybe next year in 2020. I think in 2020 we will be getting the next expansion for World of Warcraft. That will be 9.0. And then we will be getting... probably 2 years later we get 10.0. But I mean, these rumors or leaks that I found can basically be so much false. They can be nothing of, I mean, everything in that can be lies. But this is actually what I have already been, I mean, all that is like taken out from my mind. This is things I already have been thinking about and wishing for. And I've also seen other places of this rumored. So I mean, I don't think it's in coincidence. I think this is real. I don't think this is just something that is leaked for fun. I think this is what is happening. So if you're still watching this movie, thanks for watching, and I really want to know, what do you think? You don't have to comment on all those 15 changes or things that will come. Just give me an opinion. What do you think about those things you just heard about? Do you like it? Do you don't like it? Is there anything special you don't like? Or is there anything I mentioned that you really like? Let me know in the comment. I really want to hear what people have to say about all this. So thanks for watching, and BlizzCon 2019. In how many months is BlizzCon? It's in 1, 2, 3, 4 months. That is going to be the biggest BlizzCon ever. We're going to see the new expansion World of Warcraft. We're going to see Warcraft 3 Reforged, and we're going to see Diablo 4. God damn it. God damn it. So, thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.